So let's get tall, sitting in easy pose or thunderbolt pose. Gyan Mudra, thumb, index finger touch, just resting lightly on your knees. It's a mudra of receptivity. As you're sitting up tall, lift your heart. When you lift the heart, it automatically draws the back of your head over your lumbar spine. So the spine is really sitting at its most perfect spot. Also, when you lift the heart, the chin automatically dips just a bit, which engages a light hold of the Jalandhara Bandha at the throat. Reviewing the 5 elements, we immediately connect with our breath. We check in with our emotion. Scan our body for sensations, how it feels to be in our body, 9:30 in the morning. Any sounds that are in your space, just make them part of your practice. And finally, our thoughts. Throughout the 90-minute practice, we're observing our thoughts. Kundalini Yoga, the yoga of awareness. Continue to connect with your breath. I'll mute everyone. Bring our hands to prayer position for the Anjali Mudra, the Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. I'm honoring creative intelligence in the universe. I'm honoring my own sense of creative intelligence, my own genius, my own higher self. I'm bowing to that, the Guru Dev Namo, bowing to my own name. 3 inhales and exhales through the nose. Inhale. 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 Adi Mantra. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Sitting in this posture, the body knows you're about to do your yoga practice. The mind will begin to calm. Emotions will begin to settle. We're inviting a union of body, mind, and spirit. And we're open to increasing connection with our third eye, our 6th chakra, our seat of intuition. This Kriya works on the balancing of both hemispheres of the brain. So let's open the eyes. We've tuned in, we're ready to go. Let's come on to all fours for just a short warm-up. So we'll come into cat-cow to begin. Fingers spread wide, Arms underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, bringing the chin forward, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the spine. Chin comes to sternum. I'm looking between my legs. My arms are really stretching tall. In that cat pose, I'm pushing down on the hands and the arms are at their full extension to get the top of my cat. Come back to all fours. Just curl the toes under behind you and come into a plank pose. I'm looking straight down on my mat. You can feel that makes your neck very long. Nice spinal alignment. It's hard to see the back, but if you feel your buttocks is sticking up in the air, try to bring it so it's flat, so it's in a nice straight alignment. The glutes, the hamstrings, the buttocks, lower lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, they're all in a nice line. Now let's take the knees to the mat, spread the knees wide, push back into a child's pose. We don't do a lot of child's pose in Kundalini Yoga, so I might begin adding some in these warm-ups. So the knees are spread wide. If that's uncomfortable for any reason, you can always do a narrow child's pose, meaning your knees are close together. Arms are fully extended, palm is flat on the mat. I like to bring my forehead to the mat, honoring my third eye, my intuition, that during this practice I'm working with my intuition. I said last night, I like to have a pad and pencil by my mat, so when I'm given internal nudgings, those intuitive moments, that rather than try to remember them, I write them down, because they're often very fleeting. And now let's come back up, take the knees together. Just sit in hero pose, Vajrasana, interlace the fingers, steeplechase mudra, really open up the shoulders. Pull the fingers back to the mat if you can. It's easy to see how this pose is so countering to all of the rounding we do sitting on Zoom calls, texting, driving, although there's less of that these days. Keep holding and breathing. I've got to move something is rattling. I don't see it now. I didn't want it on the recording. Now take the arms to the T, palms up to the ceiling. Try to look up to the ceiling, opening up the neck. Feel the energy. Energy is pulsating out your fingers. You feel energy from the palms up to the ceiling and back down. Now take the palms face down to the floor. Feel the energy shooting up from the floor to your hands. This is all very subtle. We learn to experience our subtle body, our 8th chakra, the winds of the Vayana, which we studied 2 or 3 weeks ago. Now let's take the arms over the head, really stretching the spine tall. Maybe you can look tall. Fingers are spread wide. And bring the hands forward. Let's come into a downward facing dog. Take each heel to the mat. Slowly walk the hands back to the feet. You'll be in your deep forward fold. Head is just hanging. Our head can weigh anywhere from 10 to 14 pounds. It's quite astounding that we're able to balance it on the top of our cervical spine for so many hours every day. Maybe just do a few neck rounds. Just let the neck move in little gentle circles to the right and then to the left. Very gentle, very subtle. Then touch your ankles, slide your feet. So you're making contact with your body. You're feeling your shins, your knees, your thighs. Bring the hands to the side. The head is the last thing to come up. Close the eyes. You're in your Tadasana, my favorite pose. My big toes are touching. I lift up all 8 other toes and set them back down with a nice stretch so I can look down and see space between my toes. All 10 toes are grabbing the mat. I feel my heel on the mat. I feel the instep on the mat. As much as my foot as possible is grounding with the mat. Bringing in energy from the earth, connecting to the electromagnetic field of wherever I am on earth. My shoulders are relaxed and down. I'm lifting my heart, which puts me back into that perfect spinal alignment. My eyes are closed. Try to step outside of your body, see your body through your closed eyes. Imagine you could see a hologram of yourself. And then look for your chakras. That first chakra will be right at the anus, the sphere of the anus in the middle of the body. Second chakra very close to it at the sex organs, genitals. Third chakra, 2 fingers below the navel. Those are your 3 lower chakras. Then we move up to the heart, the 4th chakra, the midpoint. 5th chakra at the throat. 6th chakra, 3rd eye. 7th chakra, crown. 8th chakra surrounds the body. We're so complex. What a gift it is to have a human body. Let's open the eyes. Bring the blanket or bolster or block or whatever you're going to sit on. I like to sit on 2 blankets about this height for my height. It lifts my pelvis the perfect amount. So everybody has to experiment with what works best for them. We're going to begin the Kriya now, the total balance Kriya. Yogi Bhajan taught this July 12th, 1975 in Los Angeles. So 45 years ago this week, he first introduced this particular sequence. I think most of you have done it. We begin, the right palm just rests in the lap. This whole shoulder, arm stays relaxed. The pelvic floor, the legs, everything stays relaxed. The left arm comes up, elbow is straight, wrist is straight. I'm holding a tray. And we begin for 4 minutes. Wonderful opportunity to connect with your breath. Another opportunity to observe the body. Is my shoulder and arm, palm relaxed? Are my legs relaxed? Beautiful form, everyone. I'll turn on this zither. The Ekong morning sadhana. Sadhana just means practice, spiritual practice of any kind. All the breath is through the nose. Inhale, exhale. Your breathing pattern will find its own way. I would close the eyes or close them to 1/10 and just look at the tip of your nose. You're halfway there. Wonderful place to observe. Just 45 more seconds. I feel my breathing getting a little more deep and strong, intense. Heart rate is probably increasing. Wonderful 60-degree placement of the arms. And slowly bring it down. Let the back of that palm just rest lightly in the right palm. Sitting up tall, lifting the heart. Imagine that you're holding something very precious. We get a 1-minute rest before we do the other side. Let's take the right hand up. Same expression, 60 degrees. The elbow is straight. The wrist is very straight. My palm is outstretched like I'm holding a tray. The right arm is relaxed. The pelvic floor, legs are relaxed. Great spinal alignment everyone has. Kundalini Yoga gives you the opportunity for a lot of visualization. So again, you could step outside of your body from the back. Look at yourself from behind. Imagine that your spinal column is lighting up with thousands of little electrical lights. It's lighting up because the Kundalini energy is freely flowing up and down the spinal column, carrying the prana, the life force, to every extremity in your body. This creates wellness, it creates health, it creates vitality, it creates a zest for life. It harmonizes the hemispheres of the brain. It gives us equanimity, balance, patience. One of the biggest benefits for me is, with continued practice, is increased patience. Just 45 more seconds. You're doing great. We get another minute break. Remember, your mind can always do more. At first, the mind will say, "You're tired, I don't like this." But eventually the mind will move to a place that will say, "Oh, I can do this." And bring it down. Right hand just rests in left. Close the eyes, observe breath, emotion. How does it feel to be in your body? What's uncomfortable? Where's a place I could breathe into my body? Now for 4 more minutes, we bring both arms up. 60 degrees, elbows straight, wrists extended. I'm holding 2 trays. Rodney is an accomplished rafter, and he gave me a cue after class a couple of days ago that when he's in this position, he uses his back to help hold the shoulders. As you can imagine, on a long rafting trip, you have to keep rowing, no matter how numb or how stiff or how tingling or how painful your shoulders might be, you have to keep rafting. You can actually pull your scapula together, your shoulder blades. Try pulling them together and see if that helps you keep your arms lifted. We've already done a minute, just 3 minutes more. You're in a yoga lab. You're creating this opportunity to observe and be aware of your total self. How your mind relates to emotion, how emotion relates to mind, how all this occurs within your physical body. You're doing so great. I can tell you practiced it this week. I wouldn't say on day 7 it's easier for me, but I know what to expect. Last minute. And then that 1 minute rest is so sweet. Such a great feeling of accomplishment. When the recording comes out, it's just focused on me. So I wish other people could see all of you in such perfect form, but the recording is just focused on the instructor. But if they could see you, they would see what perfect form you have. And slowly take them down. 1 minute. Keep lifting the heart. As soon as you lift the heart, you feel the back of the head come over the lumbar spine. The chin does that nice little dip for Jalandhara Bandha. It's a light Bandha lock. Try to relax the arms. It's challenging because they've been held up for so long, 12 minutes. I'm going to switch my legs, take the right leg on top, but if you want to take your legs out in a life nerve stretch or sit in Thunderbolt pose, do whatever you need. We have 8 more minutes of working with our arms, really 10 more minutes, and then we're at the top of the mountain and we're coming back down. This Kriya, all the hard work is front-loaded. So it's like I'm cupping some water here, then the palms are face down, back up to 60 degrees. Then I take the thumb inside and wrap my fingers around my thumbs for 3 minutes. I'm rolling my wrists, just the wrist. The next exercise will engage the forearm, but for this 3 minutes, we're just doing the wrists. So good for you. All the work with trackpads and mouses, texting, Although I found that voice texting is the best, or double thumb texting is better on the wrist than using the index finger. But this is really helping send energy to those wrists that don't get enough of this. I think I'll begin incorporating some of this in warm-ups. My shoulders are talking to me. You're muted, so if you want to make noise, you can. Sometimes I let off energy by just growling or... Oh, we're halfway there. Maybe focus just on the movement of the wrists. Focus on the healing, sending blood and attention and energy to those wrists. They get such a workout with all the devices. Just one more minute. If you need to lower the arms, just lower them and then take a moment rest and then bring them back. I've already selected next week's Kriya. This is not in it. So this will be your last 30 seconds of doing it. Next week we're working on elimination. We know how important regular elimination is to release all the toxins. It's a full body Kriya experience. Okay, I'm getting tired. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, take it down. Oh, what a sweet release. Close your eyes, just revel in the release. You accomplished it. If you get a little lightheaded or tingling, that's just because you breathe in more deeper breaths, taking in more oxygen and not releasing enough carbon dioxide. So you'll begin to hyperventilate a bit. I kind of like it. It gives me a little bit of a high. Arms come out to a T, so parallel. I'm still in those fists. My fingers are around my thumb. And now for 3 minutes, I'm using the forearm and the wrist. Again, the forearm is all part of that track motion, mouse motion, texting motion, dialing a phone number. Not dialing. Some of us remember dial phones. This one's a little easier, but still by the end of the 3 minutes, your body is talking to you. What's talking to you? Is it your mind or is it your body? Ask yourself that. We're halfway there. Mm. It's the last day. I don't know if I'm going to make you do 3 minutes. I think we've done so well. We're going to stop at 2. So stay with it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take it down. Oh, relax into it. Let the breath equalize. We have one last challenging arm hold. I'm going to take you through an emotional and a mental exercise to try and distract you from holding your arms out. I'm going to ask you to think about an emotional or physical moment or moments that were very painful. So bring the arms out. This is the one we cup the hands like we're holding water. So the palms are down, I'm cupping them. They're just out to a T perpendicular. Close the eyes. Now bring to mind that emotional, painful experience. Or it could be a physical pain, or it could be both. Bring it to mind. Make it vivid. Thankfully, painful memories become black and white. In the beginning, they're in vivid color. Try to bring it back to its original painful state. Now release the memory. I know that's hard because I've just asked you to bring it to mind. But with time, how did that painful experience enrich your life? How did you become a fuller human being? How did you become more compassionate, maybe more forgiving? Maybe a greater appreciation for health. Only 20 more seconds. See, making your mind, giving it something to do helps you move through this 2 minutes. A few more seconds. Oh, take the left hand palm down, right palm inside left. Imagine a hummingbird. We did this last night. Has just hit your window. It's stunned. It's lying on the floor, motionless. You pick up the hummingbird and you place it in your palm. You look down at the iridescent wings, the green iridescent rings of the beautiful hummingbird. Knowing that any moment it will come back to life and fly away. It's coming back to life now. It's waking up, it's flying away, and with it, it takes part of that painful memory with it. You're releasing it. We don't want that memory in our physical bodies anymore. We don't want it blocking energy. We don't want it making a constriction of life force. So open the eyes and shake everything out. Take the arms, shake them overhead, shake them to the side. In front of you, you're moving all that energy. I ask you to bring in a lot of painful energy and memory, and we're clearing it from our bodies. Oh, then bring the hands back to the knees. Just sit, grounding the knees, holding on to the knees, recentering yourself, coming back into your body. One last arm exercise before we move to the Cobra Pose with the Sitali breath. So this mudra, all the fingers are into the palm. So it's a brain exercise. I take the index Jupiter finger out, then the middle finger back in. This one's hard for me. The ring finger comes out, my pinky comes with it. Maybe somebody can do ring finger only, and then pinky out and back. Arms come up to our side. We're only in this for 2 minutes, but you're giving your brain something to do. So I'm in my fists. My index finger comes up and back down. Inhale, middle finger up, exhale down. Inhale, ring finger up, exhale down. Inhale, pinky up, exhale down. So you're giving your brain something to do. Inhale, up, exhale down. Just finger, digit after digit for 2 minutes, for 1.5 minutes more. It's a neuromuscular exercise, especially on the ring finger. The brain has to figure out how to try to get that finger up. All the breathing through the nose. 1 more minute. We try to keep the arms straight and close to the ears if you can. Nice inhale, exhale with each movement of the finger. Last round. Float the arms down. Gyan Mudra, thumb index finger touch. Just sit, breathe, and observe. Close the eyes. Open the eyes. We're moving into Cobra Pose. So I come back, maybe shake the legs out a bit. We've been sitting for so long. Curl the toes under. Oh yeah, stretch those legs out. They've been like in a tourniquet. The blood is flowing back in. So good for the muscles, ligaments. It's like you're wringing it out like a dish rag. It's just wrung everything out. In this breathing exercise, come down onto the stomach, the forehead's on the mat. My palms, my fingers are spread wide. They're right under my shoulders. So you can do this pose. My toes are together, the cobra, the tail of the snake. So my heels are touching too. Maybe your calves even. So you can do it in low cobra where I just lift my head, or you can come into Sphinx pose where your palms are spread wide and you're on your forearms, or you can come up to high cobra. The breathing is all through the mouth, opposite of what we almost always do. We're always breathing through the nose in Kundalini Yoga, but this exercise, I stick my tongue out and I just breathe through my open mouth. No nostril breathing for 2 minutes. Begin. You may need to close the mouth and moisten it a bit. Just observe how foreign this is, how strange it is to inhale and exhale just over the open tongue. If you read James Nestor's book, his new bestseller called Breath, for I can't remember how many days he had his nose plugged and he could only breathe through his mouth. Then he was checking blood pressure, all kinds of respiratory responses through Stanford Clinic, and how unhealthy it was for him. I think it was 3 days. 30 more seconds. Close the mouth and moisten the lips if it gets too uncomfortable. And if high cobra gets too uncomfortable on the lower back, by all means come down to Sphinx or low cobra. And come forward, bring the knees forward, sit back onto the hips. Thunderbolt pose. Unless this is difficult for you, then sit in easy pose. I see Laura shaking out her shoulders and arms, yes. Just close the eyes, sit up tall and observe. One more breathing posture. We move back into easy pose. You could stay in Thunderbolt. I would drink some water after those 2 breathing exercises. This is Sitali breath. Sitali pranayama. It's a well-known pranayama that's taught in hatha classes as well. Three and a half minutes. We curl the tongue and stick it out. I think it's a genetic marker, so if you can't curl your tongue, then just let the tongue hang open. You're going to breathe in through the tongue and exhale through the nose. So begin. My hands are down on my knees. I'm very grounded. It's a cooling breath to breathe through the curled tongue. close the mouth, exhale through the nose. Take some focus and discipline to stay with it. You're giving the mind something to do. Keep lifting the heart. If you have any congestion, it can be a little challenging to exhale through the nose, but just push it through. What's happening with your mind? More seconds. Just begin to breathe naturally. You may want another drink of water. I love the Sufi Grind. We've done the Sufi Grind before, but usually not in this big a rotation. I'm winding all the way around. My head comes out as far as my hips, but my head stays in alignment with my spine. Now you can reverse the direction. If you started clockwise, then go counterclockwise. If you started counterclockwise, then go clockwise. I find this Kriya incredibly energizing. Last night after I did it, I went for a really long walk. And that was at 8 o'clock. So you should have energy to go do something after class today. And come back to center. Stay in easy pose. You can always switch out the legs. It's helpful. I like this one. It's like I've got paws here. They're just limp wristed, like a kangaroo almost. But it's a wonderful shoulder roll. So I'm inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling as I roll my shoulders forward, exhaling as I round them back. Again, it ties right into all the work we're doing with computers, Zoom calls, driving. Our shoulders are, if technology doesn't change, I don't know what our bodies will turn into 50 years from now. We may have huge thumbs. We may be all round-shouldered, all hunked over. I don't know. When you think about children, their muscles are being trained in these kind of not ergonomically correct positions. Two more minutes. Breathing is just long and deep through the nose. Keep the paws up there like a little raccoon. I've never done this in a hatha or vinyasa class. Kundalini Yoga always has the most unusual postures. There's one reason I love it. Feels good in the shoulders, doesn't it? We hold so much tension in our shoulders, our scapula. The next pose will work on buttocks and hips. During COVID, we're holding a lot of grief. Grief supposedly stores in the hips. "1,000 Americans died yesterday from COVID. It's unbelievable to me. So we're all feeling a collective grief. I don't know what the world total was. I tried to go off the news the last couple of weeks to just unplug and have a little more balance. Okay. Now come back. Just sit on your buttocks. This is said to balance the buttocks. So my feet are flexed, meaning I'm pulling my toes back towards my body. For 3 minutes, inhale, I just lift my extended leg, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, alternating legs. Oh, and my hands, I'm sorry, they're behind me like this. So lets me open my chest. You can experiment with how far you want to place the hands back. This should be easy for everyone. It's not really affecting the spine. The cue says, do not bend the legs. This can affect the lower spine. So we keep the legs straight. It also says this exercise can open up the sinuses if done properly. and can work against headaches. I've never tried it when I have a headache, but next time I do, I'll try to remember to try this. Inhale up, exhale down. Can be quite forceful. You're working core. One more minute. Close your eyes, really focus on your breath. Focus on that drawn inhale through the nose as you lift the leg, and then exhaling through the nose as you lower the leg. And inhale, exhale with each leg. The arms can be back, and I can still lift my chest, still lift my heart. Almost there. We come forward onto our buttocks, back to an easy pose, where this is a little bit different. This is the yoga mudra. I love this exercise because my third eye, my sixth chakra, comes down and I lay it right on my mat. So how can I not think about my third eye, my internal guidance system, when my third eye is sitting on the mat? So I roll forward onto my knees, and then from there I just bring the forehead, the nose onto the mat. I interlace my fingers, yoga mudra, steeplechase mudra. Then my arms, if the shoulders release, they'll come up to 12 o'clock. Wherever your shoulders do release, that's just wherever you are. Over time, they will release. Breathing through the nose. It can get a little claustrophobic. Just to counteract that, think about your third eye. The pituitary gland, the size of a pea, is right there. Kundalini Yoga works a lot on the pituitary gland. Our guidance system is always operating. The more aware we become, the more we hear the internal guidance, the messages, the prompts, the nudgings. You've heard me say before that animals have fangs and claws. Humans don't, because we have an internal guidance system. That system is there for protection and for guidance. Now repeat with me 3 affirmations. I'll call it. It'll be, you won't hear each other, but I'll call it, then you can respond. So it'll be call and response. You can just say them out loud or silently. Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Healthy am I? Happy am I? Holy am I? Lower the arms. We come down back to easy pose for the last posture, the last asana in the Kriya. I love this pose. I don't remember doing it before. We're sitting in easy pose. The pose calls for lotus pose, but most of us can't. Lotus is very difficult, so I'm just calling it an easy pose. I bring my palms together, interlace the fingers like a Venus mudra, then the index finger comes forward. It's right, my arms are stretching out from my heart. I'm sitting up tall. I'm just extending the arms, sitting tall, breathing long and deep. Bring to mind purpose in your life. What gives your life purpose? What gives your life meaning? What makes you want to get up in the morning? Where do you feel energized? All these things are your purpose, your life force, speaking to you, speaking through you to be of service, support to others. Long, deep breathing, one more minute. Wonderful focus, everyone. Very mindful. You're going to be so set for your day. You will be so aligned, so balanced, so healthy and robust. Last 15 seconds. Bring gratitude into your mind for your body, for the people in your life you love. And float the arms down. Just sit in a few moments of Gyan Mudra before Shavasana. Aligning body, mind, spirit. Bringing that connection into your Shavasana. So you have 8 minutes for Shavasana. I'll bring you back with the bell. So let everything go. It's the most important asana in the practice. Everything's integrating. Muscle memory. Your intuition is wide open. Maybe you'll get a message or two during your Shavasana. Maybe you'll get an affirmation that you're completely on the right track. Feeling whole, feeling complete, feeling enough. Begin to breathe together. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Ah, big audible sigh. Inhale through the nose. Ah, actually talks to the parasympathetic nervous system. Inhale through the nose. Ah. Begin to wiggle the fingers, the toes. Take the legs, stretch them, point the toes, take the arms over the head, interlace the fingers, steeplechase mudra, point the Jupiter index finger, point the toes, really stretch out the spine, be conscious of the spine, how it serves you. Maybe you draw your knees towards your forehead towards your knees. You could be in a little ball. Maybe you want to roll from left to right across the sacrum, or roll backwards and forwards on the length of your mat. You could take both knees, take them to one side in a spinal twist. Just make sure you take the torso and face to the opposite side. I see Margaret in a spinal twist, Medea, Pablo, Rodney. Rodney's gone into a Supta Baddha Konasana where you draw the soles of your feet together. Your knees fall open. It's a wonderful hip opener. You can do this in bed at night. So great for releasing hips. Laura's going into a happy baby. Margaret's in Supta Baddha Konasana, the hip opener. You can massage the feet and hands. Medea is doing that. It stimulates all the nerve endings on your feet. So is Pablo. Laura's in a figure 4, the modified pigeon pose. You take your right ankle, place it on your left knee. You grab behind that left calf, left hamstring, and it opens up the knee. When you think you've done enough stretching, whatever your body needs, then bring yourself back to your seated pose for our closing song that we sing in all Kundalini Yoga classes worldwide. May the long-time sun shine upon you. It's such a blessing and a wonderful parting prayer-like song. Thank you for being here today. Thank you, Rodney. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Medea. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Lan. Thank you, Roberta. We bring our hands to prayer position, lifting the heart again. Such a great cue to bring our spine into the perfect alignment, and a great metaphor for life to always lead with our heart. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. And 3 long sat nams, long sat, short nam, my truth is my identity. Sat nam, sat nam, sat nam. We bow to each other and we say Sat Nam.